Impact segment tonight, let's bring in Donald Trump. Joins us now from Greenville, North Carolina, where he's campaigning. So first of all, let's talk about your campaign. You've said in the past that you expect to beat Hillary Clinton somewhat easily. Do you still feel that way?
I don't know if I said easily, but I hope to win, and I think we'll win. We're doing very well, as you probably know, and I think we're going to have a great, we have a great campaign going. North Carolina now, Virginia before, Ohio yesterday. We had a tremendous crowd in Ohio. It was unbelievable, actually, and I think we're doing very well.
All right, so you're not going to say you're going to beat her easily, because you have said that in the past. But you say you're still going to win, on track to win. Now let's look at the CNN poll, which has you ahead by 1. It's divided along race and gender. For example, you beat Secretary Clinton with men, 54-32. Why do you think you beat her with men?
Well, maybe they like strong borders, maybe they like strong military, but I think women do also. That's why I think I'm going to do very well with women. I noticed that we're doing very well with married women.
All right, well, let's stay on the men now.
With married women.
We'll get to the women in a moment.
I think a lot has to do with the military. A lot has to do with the strength of the borders and not allowing the Syrians to come in, who we just don't know where they're coming from, who they are. There's no documentation. It's a disaster. Hillary wants them to pour into our country, and I don't.
All right, so you think it's a national security play for men to favor you over Mrs. Clinton?
Well, I guess, but I think women want that just as much as men.
Well,
so,
let's get to the, all right, let's get to the
I think women want it as much as men.
Well, I don't know about that. CNN poll has women 53 Clinton, 38 Trump.
Well, you know, if you're asking me the question, I think we went way up with married women, and we're going very much higher with women than we were 2 months ago. I never really understood that, why we weren't doing well, because it's very much also, it's national security, it's jobs. I think jobs for men and for women. You know, I'm not sure there's such a big difference, to be honest with you, Bill.
But there is in the poll. I mean, I don't know why. I think it most has to do style over substance, maybe. But there is a huge difference. You dominate on men, dominate with men, and she dominates with American women. Let's get to the race. In white Americans, again, you dominate 55-34. You're up 21 with whites. Why?
I can't tell you, Bill. I mean, all I'm doing is talking about jobs and bringing back our jobs. I can't say why
you don't have any
opinion
on that?
No, I don't really. I really don't. I mean, I had a tremendous experience in Detroit and in Philadelphia this last week with African Americans in really inner cities, and we went to a church, an African American church, which was incredible. And you know, I think, you know, I would think that I'm doing very well with the African Americans.
Let's go to non-white. Now, non-white is, you know, all non-Caucasians. Clinton 72, Trump 18.
Well, I think maybe the 18 is a lot higher than it was 3 weeks ago. I think we've made a lot of progress. I mean, I actually saw one where it was 1, which I didn't understand at all.
That was just African Americans. This is encompassed all non-whites in it. All right, but anyway, look, what I'm trying to get at,
I think it's highly underrated, Bill.
Okay.
I think it's highly underrated.
This is a polarized race. It's polarized along gender right now. This could change. I mean, I think the debates will change a lot of things, but it's polarized right now. It's gender, women like her, men like you, whites like you, non-whites like her. And, you know, if you don't have a theory on why, you know, you don't have a theory.
I don't have a theory, Bill.
Okay.
Look, I'm about jobs, I'm about defense, I'm about borders, I'm about a lot of things. I'm about our vets, I'm about strong military. You know, whether you break it down into men or women or anybody else, I mean, I think people want to hear that, and I'm much better at it than she is. She'll be very weak on the border. She wants people just to flow. In terms of illegal immigration, people are going to flow into the country, and it's going to be a disaster.
All right, but apparently non-white Americans don't mind that. I mean, that's the thing.
Well,
the factor is that some people want open borders. And Bernie Sanders and his crew let everybody in, everybody do what they want. You know what? Open society, George Soros, everybody comes in, you know that crew. Okay, now, Electoral College. See, in my view, and I said this on my website today, it's a tie when you might be ahead in the popular vote a little bit right now, which is pretty interesting comeback from where you were 4 weeks ago. But Electoral College is tough. it's tough. You have very little margin for error. You got to knock off Ohio, you got to knock off Florida, you got to win North Carolina, where some polls you have you behind. You got to win either Michigan or Pennsylvania. That's tough. You don't have any margin for error, where she does have some margin.
Well, when you say you're talking about the Republican Party, because it's always been that way, or it's been that way for the last 20 years, and there's truth to it, but I think we're doing very well in those states. I just left, again, Ohio, we're doing well. We're leading in Ohio. We're leading in Florida. We're leading in
some
quite
polls
a few states.
you are,
So, I mean, we're going to
you
see.
know how it is.
Yeah. Well,
but you don't have, would
you
you see tonight you don't have a lot of margin for error. You got to take the key states that I mentioned. It's going to be tough for you in Virginia. But you don't need Virginia. That's not a have-to-have.
Well, I just left Virginia. I know, but I just left Virginia, and we're just about even in Virginia,
Close.
which some
but
people
you know
were surprised at. I'm not surprised. I think, I see the crowds, I see the people, but we're pretty even in Virginia too.
All right. Would you see that you don't have much margin for error in the Electoral College, or no?
Well, when you say you, again, you're talking about the Republican Party.
Donald Trump. No. It's you.
Well, I'm just saying the Republican Party has a tougher road. There's no question about it. I've known that. It's been that way for a long number of years.
Yeah.
But I think we're doing well, and I think we're going to win.
All right. Now, let's get to Detroit. I was going to do this in the second segment. We're going to carry Mr. Trump over, but let's go there now. Were you happy? I thought they were respectful to you when you did have the dialogue with the people in Detroit. But the reaction was, they ran out, they being the media, ran out to find people to smash you, which they did. What was your assessment of that whole situation?
I thought the reaction was amazing, and the church was amazing, the bishop was amazing. I thought the whole thing was really an incredible experience for me, and
what did you learn?
It was a tremendous
What did
success.
you learn by going there?
Well, I don't know, learn, because I knew they were great people to start off with, but it just reinforced it. These are people of faith. These are people that are strong believers in God. They were absolutely so warm and so genuine, and I was very, very impressed.
Did you learn anything about
rough section of Detroit?
All right. Did you learn anything about why Detroit has collapsed? Why half the population has fled the area? Did you learn why?
Well, I think I know a lot of the reasons why, because our leadership has lost the jobs. I mean, a lot of these companies have moved to Mexico. They've moved out of Michigan generally. That's why I'm doing well in Michigan, because I've been talking about this for 5 years, not just for the last 3 weeks, like, Hillary, who doesn't have any clue as to why they're leaving. And I know how to get them back, and I know how to keep them from leaving. But if you look at Michigan, generally speaking, you look at the big auto plants that are being built in Mexico, and you look at what's happening with respect to Mexico is like the eighth wonder of the world, and Michigan is getting killed.
Yeah, they are.
And I will stop it.
They're
getting killed.
Last question on this. Do you think your birther position has hurt you among African Americans?
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't even talk about it anymore, Bill,
no,
because I just
but
don't bother talking about it.
It's on the record.
I don't know. I guess with maybe some. I don't know why. I really don't know why. But I don't think very few people. You're the first one that's brought that up in a while. I don't think so. I mean, look, I went to Detroit. It was like a love fest. We had just a great time. I was there for a long time. Again, the bishop and his wife and the whole congregation, these are fantastic people.